This is the Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi, Kenya, and Professor Matiangi. Last week, Uhuru told his Secretary General to stop abusing Gachagua. And that was a nice thing to do. Then, Gachagua believed that Uhuru is beginning to like him, after he had sent goons to his mother's farm and stole some goats. What was lost on Riggy Man is this: Uhuru is a schemer. By being nice to Gachagua, he loosened Gachagua's grip on the mountain. And little by little, Uhuru will take back his Gema stronghold from this political Casanova. That is the first part of this scheme. The second part of his scheme is to ensure that Matiangi is on the ballot. And he will mobilize Kikuyus to support Matiangi. Then they will lose. And that is the plan. Yes, Uhuru intends for Matiangi to lose in the 2027 election. And with this, he will achieve two things. One, he will unite Kikuyus behind him and destroy Gachagua. Two, with Kikuyus behind him solidly, he will have prepared Matiangi for 2032. In his mind, Uhuru knows he cannot beat Ruto in 2027. That is why he has abandoned Kalonzo and is preparing Matiangi for 2032. And that is a game plan. Take it or leave it.
At the Fort Hall School of Government, we are persuaded that Uhuru and Ruto are still working together. If Uhuru had wanted to make Raila president in 2022, he could have done it, but he was deliberately sloppy. He wanted Ruto to become president, and the record must reflect that Uhuru played Baba. Or did he? In 2022, Uhuru chose the long game. He betrayed Babaman because he wanted a third term through Matiangi in 2032. And in 2027, Uhuru will work with Ruto to split opposition and finish Kalonzo. Fact. But there is one more thing. Kalonzo is not particularly clever. He will fall for the trap. He will run for president and lose. Then we will bury his remains in the grave of antiquity. That is the first point. Here is the second point. Incumbent presidents in Africa do not lose elections unless they are incompetent. And Ruto is far from being incompetent. Uhuru knows it, but Kalonzo is not particularly clever. He does not understand this rule. However, he has a crawling out option, and we will pose the option as a question. If Uhuru Kenyatta is playing the 2032 long game for Matiangi, why can't Kalonzo play the 2032 game in 2027? And if Kalonzo supports Ruto in 2027 and Ruto makes him president in 2032, what is wrong with that?
At the core, the state is constituted as a criminal enterprise. That is why the world over, the head of state is above the law. To unseat a head of state requires two things: mass plus velocity. The numbers must be humongous, and the speed with which they move must be astronomical. The movement to unseat the head of a criminal enterprise must be of such magnitude that nothing can stop it. As a former head of state, Uhuru Kenyatta is telling us this: opposition unity is nothing but political nonsense. Gaming for 2032 is the real deal. And here are some reasons why the opposition should just give up. 1. To become a voter, you need an ID card. Fact. And who issues the ID cards? The state. There are 7 million youths who turned over 18 and qualify to vote in 2027. But who will register them? The state. If at the core the state is a criminal enterprise, which of these youths will get IDs? hostile Kikuyus? 0. 2. Armed with an ID, you can register as a voter. And IEBC is an independent commission appointed by the head of state. Or is it independent? Will they register communities hostile to Ruto? Maybe, because they're independent. Or are they? Dear Kalonzo, just give up. Focus on 2032, like Uhuru.
Uhuru and Ruto are doing war gaming. They are together, yet apart. But they have a few points of agreement. 1. Gachagua must be finished. And this task has been given to Uhuru Kenyatta. Riggy is a needy political Casanova. To destroy him, all you need is a tinge of love. And Uhuru unleashed this affection on Gachagua last week. He told the Jubilee Secretary General to stop abusing Riggy. And Riggy thought it was a kiss from Uhuru. Fact. What he did not know is this. When your rival expects a blow, you must offer a smile instead. It lowers their guard better than the sharpest blade. With this gesture, the first step of Uhuru taking back the mountain was launched. The second point of agreement between Ruto and Uhuru is Kalonzo. Uhuru wants to con Kalonzo. He knows that Kalonzo will not beat Ruto in 2027. From the trenches of politics, he understands this. Never fight a war you cannot win. You must fight the one that positions you for the next. That is why Uhuru is focused on 2032 for Matiangi, the next war. But for Ruto, winning Kalonzo is the war he must fight today. Then he will position Kalonzo for the next war in 2032. This is where the disagreement between Ruto and Uhuru lies. But who will win?